The Children of Liar. A tale from Irish mythology. Long ago, in the mystical land of Erin, where the rolling green hills met the endless sea, there ruled a noble king named Liar. He was a mighty warrior, a just ruler, and a man of great honor. But among all his riches, his most treasured possessions were not gold or jewels but his 4 beloved children. Fionnuala the eldest, wise beyond her years and protective of her brothers. Aegon, brave and spirited with a heart full of adventure. Fiachra, gentle and thoughtful, who found wonder in the world around him. Conn, the youngest, full of laughter and innocence. Their mother, the gentle Queen Abe, was a woman of kindness and grace. She adored her children, and they adored her in return. But fate, ever cruel, cast its shadow over their happiness. The queen fell gravely ill and soon departed from the world, leaving behind 4 grieving children and a heartbroken king. Liar in his sorrow withdrew from the world, finding comfort only in the presence of his children. He held them close, vowing never to let sorrow touch them again. But the High King of Ireland, seeking to ease Liar's pain, proposed a new bride for him, Aoife, the sister of his late wife. At first, Aoife seemed to bring light back into Liar's world. She was beautiful, graceful, and well-versed in the ways of royalty. Yet beneath her fair exterior lurked a heart of envy and darkness. For though she was now queen, she could not claim Liar's heart, for it already belonged to his children. They were the center of his world, and as the days passed, Aoife's jealousy grew. A cruel thought took root in her mind, a thought that whispered to her in the stillness of the night. One day, when Liar was away, she took the children on a journey, leading them toward the great lake of Derryveog, a place of deep, enchanted waters. There, as the sunlight danced upon the waves, she ordered her servants to slay the children. But the men, horrified, refused. They had known the children since birth and could not bring themselves to harm them. So Aoife, heart blackened with envy, turned to dark magic. Raising her hands, she called upon an ancient spell, one whispered to her by the spirits of the underworld. A chill wind swept across the lake, the sky darkened, and the waters trembled. With words of power, she cast her spell. A terrible transformation took place. The children cried out as their bodies twisted and changed. Their soft skin turned to shimmering white feathers. Their arms became wings. Their voices turned to the sorrowful cries of swans. They had been cursed, not to die but to live as swans for 900 years. Fionnuala, now a swan but still the eldest, looked upon her stepmother with tear-filled eyes. "Why have you done this, Aoife?" she asked. "What harm have we ever done to you?" But Aoife only laughed, cruel and hollow. "I have stolen your father's love from you," she said, "and now I am queen alone." Yet even in her wickedness she could not bring herself to take away their voices. "You shall keep your speech so that the world may know of your sorrow," she sneered. 900 years you will wander, 300 years on this very lake, 300 on the stormy waters of the Sea of Moyle, and 300 more on the desolate waters of the Western Sea. Only when a king from the north weds a queen from the south shall this curse be broken." And with that she disappeared into the mist, leaving the children to their fate. Liar, upon returning home and finding his children missing, set out in a desperate search. He rode through forests and over hills, calling their names, but no answer came. Then, as he reached the lake of Derryveog, he heard voices, soft, sorrowful, yet hauntingly familiar. He turned toward the lake, and there, upon the silvered waters, he saw 4 swans. "Father!" Fionnuala called. Liar fell to his knees in anguish. "What cruel magic is this?" he wept. Fionnuala told him of Aoife's treachery, of the curse that bound them to the waters. Liar's heart shattered. He cursed Aoife, banishing her from the kingdom. But no magic could undo the spell. The children were doomed to their fate. And so they remained, drifting upon the waters of Derryveog, singing songs so beautiful and sorrowful that all who heard them wept. For 300 years, they remained on the lake, watched over by their father. But time unrelenting took its toll. Liar grew old and frail, and one day, he too departed from the world, leaving his children alone. The swans wept, but they had no time to mourn, for the curse carried them onward. 300 years they spent upon the Sea of Moyle, where fierce storms battered them. The waves crashed, the winds howled, and the icy waters chilled them to their very souls. But they endured, holding on to each other for warmth and strength. Then came the final exile, 300 years upon the western sea, where the world forgot them. They watched as the old gods faded, and a new faith, the faith of St. Patrick, spread across the land. And still, they waited for the day their curse would end. One day, weary and weak, the swans heard the ringing of church bells. Guided by the sound, they followed it to the shores of Innisglewere, where a kindly monk named Machua welcomed them. He listened to their sorrowful tale and prayed for their souls. And as he did, a great miracle occurred. A noble king from the north had wed a queen from the south. The prophecy had been fulfilled. A bright light surrounded the swans, and in its glow their feathers fell away. Their wings turned to arms, their beaks to lips, their bodies to those of aged humans. For though they had been children when the curse was cast, they had lived 900 years. Old, frail, and weary, they had only moments left. But in those moments they were human once more. They took their last breaths in peace, and the monk, with great sorrow, laid them to rest in a single grave, so that even in death they would never be parted. And thus ended the tale of the children of Liar, their sorrowful song forever carried by the winds of Ireland. To this day, the tale of the children of Liar remains one of the most beloved legends of Ireland. It is a story of love, loss, and endurance, reminding us that even in the face of darkness, the bonds of family remain unbroken. And if you ever walk by the lonely lakes of Ireland, you may still hear their song, soft, sorrowful, and eternal.